The Badarian culture provides the earliest direct evidence of agriculture in Upper Egypt during the pre-dynastic era. It flourished between 4400 and 4000 BCE, and might have already emerged by 5000 BCE. It was first identified in El Badari, a Sayat. About 40 settlements and 600 graves have been located. Social stratification has been inferred from the burying of more prosperous members of the community in a different part of the cemetery. The Badarian economy was based mostly on agriculture, fishing and animal husbandry. Tools included end scrapers, perforators, axes, bifacial sickles and concave base arrowheads. Remains of cattle, dogs and sheep were found in the cemeteries. Wheat, barley, lentils and tubers were consumed. The culture is known largely from cemeteries in the low desert. The deceased were placed on mats and buried in pits with their heads usually laid to the south, looking west. This seems contiguous with the later dynastic traditions regarding the West as the land of the dead. The pottery that was buried with them is the most characteristic element of the Badarian culture. It had been given a distinctive, decorative rippled surface. Location and discovery. Badari culture is so named because of its discovery at El Badari, an area of Upper Egypt between Matmar and Qau, approximately 200 kilometers NW of modern-day Luxor. It includes numerous pre-dynastic cemeteries, as well as at least one early pre-dynastic settlement at Hamamia. The El Badari region, stretching for 30 kilometers along the east bank of the Nile, was first investigated by Guy Brunton and Gertrude Caton Thompson between 1922 and 1931. Most of the cemeteries in the region have yielded distinctive pottery vessels, as well as terracotta and ivory anthropomorphic figures, slate palettes, stone vases and flint tools. The contents of pre-dynastic cemeteries at El Badari have been subjected to a number of analyses attempting to clarify the chronology and social history of the Badarian period. Cultural features. Populations in the Badari culture planted wheat and barley, and kept cattle, sheep, and goats. They fished from the Nile and hunted gazelle. Little is known of their buildings, although remains of wooden stumps have been found at one site and may have been associated with a hut or shelter of unknown construction. Pits that have been found may have served as granaries. Some Badarian sites also show evidence of later pre-dynastic use. Badarian grave goods were relatively simple and the deceased wrapped in reed matting or animal skins and placed with personal items such as shell or stone beads. Green malachite, or perhaps for personal decoration, has also been detected on stone pallets. Trade. Basalt vases found at Badari sites were most likely traded up the river from the Delta region or from the northwest. Elephant ivory may have been local, but was more likely imported from the south. Shells came in quantities from the Red Sea. Turquoise possibly came from Sinai, copper from the north. A Syrian connection is suggested for a four-handled pot of hard pink ware. The black pottery, with white incised designs, may have come directly from the west, or from the south. The porphyry slabs are like the later ones in Nubia, but the material could have come from the Red Sea Mountains. The glazed steatite beads were not made locally. These all suggest the Badarians were not an isolated tribe, but were in contact with the cultures on all sides of them. Nor were they nomadic, having pots of such size and fragility that would have been unsuitable for use by wanderers. Ancestral origins. The Badarian culture seems to have had multiple sources, of which the Western Desert was probably the most influential. Badari culture was likely not to have been solely restricted to the Badari region, since related finds have been made farther to the south at Margar Dendera, Armant, El Kub and Nekon, and to the east in the Wadi Hammamat.